I recently moved from my studio apartment in Los Angeles, California, into a single bedroom and a 2-bedroom apartment in beautiful Portland, Oregon. The apartment that I now occupy is shared between myself, my sister, and her boyfriend. Since neither of the two consider themselves minimalists, it goes without saying that the apartment is not exactly what you consider a minimalist apartment. It has been quite an interesting time getting used to the stark contrast between my new living situation and my old one, and so I'm now making this video to explain to you what it's been like to live as a minimalist in a non-minimalist home. Now let's just kind of talk about some of the pros and the cons that I have started to observe while living in a non-minimalist home as a minimalist. We'll start with the pros. Number one, there's a lot more appliances and random, I don't want to say gadgets, but just kinds of luxuries that I definitely wouldn't have at my apartment in the past. Whether or not that's because I am broke and can afford to have these things, or because I just wouldn't have thought to buy them. It has been nice to have some of these things around my new apartment that I am able to use at my disposal. By the way, I'm not saying that owning these things does or does not make you a minimalist. I'm just simply saying that had I not moved into a non-minimalist house, I probably would not have access to them. Everybody has their own definition of what minimalism is to them, so you decide what you own that does or doesn't make you a minimalist, if that makes sense. Number two, there's a lot more decoration and just character and little cool knickknacks and that type of thing all around the house. These are things that I didn't exactly have in my old apartment, but I do find that I like having them around because it does add character and it makes you feel more like you're at a home. Now this leads me to pro number three. And that's kind of just a product of the first two, which is an increased feeling of hominess. What I mean is, it just feels like a house that's complete. It feels like somewhere that I might have lived in when I was growing up, in the traditional sense that you have everything that you need and it has a lot of character and it just feels like your own home. Whereas my old studio apartment didn't really feel like that. It felt almost like a bachelor pad. Like I still loved it and there was character in it, but it wasn't the same. I'm aware that there were things that I would have to go out to get if I needed them, just because I didn't go out of my way to just have everything that I needed at my own apartment. And we'll go ahead and talk about the cons now. Number one, since there's a lot more things laying around, it's a lot easier to misplace your stuff. Hey, have you guys seen my keys anywhere? Never mind, found them. Of course, this could just be a product of my own lack of memory, but overall, I mean, it just makes sense that if there are more things lying around a house, it's easier to forget where you left something specifically because there's so much other stuff kind of camouflaging and blending in with the thing that you misplaced. And number two, since there are a lot of things laying around and there's a lot more stuff in the house, I find that it's sometimes easy to get a little bit distracted when I'm trying to get things done. One of the main benefits of minimalism that I've learned is that the elimination of all the excess things that you're not exactly using on a regular basis helps your mind focus in on the things that truly do matter. So this is one way that I've been having to adapt in this new house. It's not a big deal because I'm able to just go in my room and it's all good, but that's just one of the things that I've observed while living here.
I'd like to quickly give you guys a comparison of my own minimalist room to the rest of the apartment, which isn't so minimalist. Some of you might find an appeal to the simplicity of my room, and yet others might see it as a barren wasteland with no character. Yes, my mattress sits right on the ground because what kind of minimalist uses a bed frame? Slight touches I've added to include some visual appeal. I know, the stack of books is pretty chaotic and not very minimalist. And here's my closet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys my closet right now. It's really cluttered and embarrassing with the whole coronavirus thing going on and all the furniture stores are closed. I haven't been able to get a dresser or any kind of furniture really, so I kind of stuffed everything into the closet and it is not very minimalist at all. So we're gonna skip that part of the tour for now, sorry.
And here's the rest of the apartment. As you can see, there's a lot more going on, as well as a lot more touches of personality and decoration. To some folks, this abundant style of living is preferred and better suits their needs. It comes down to a matter of preference. There is no right or wrong, and I found it easy enough to adapt to new circumstances.
Now, I'd like to just quickly add that at the end of the day, although it might be a little bit strange getting used to living in a non-minimalist house, if you have been living in a minimalist home for a while, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, to be quite honest. As long as you have your own room that you could keep kind of designed to your own minimalist liking, it's easy to escape from the clutter if you're ever feeling like you need to refocus your energy. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are going to be living with people who are not minimalists, don't worry, it's going to be okay. In some ways, it's actually even a lot better because you get things that you wouldn't normally have because you don't really think to own them because you're a minimalist and you don't own things. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope that you were able to find some kind of benefit from watching this video. At the very least, I hope that you're able to take some of the things that I said and kind of apply them to your own life and do with them what you will. Thank you guys, like always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.